What's a good word, everyone? It's your boy DKB here. I just want to say thanks for all the support. The channel's been steadily growing, and the number you see below, you can drop a text, shoot a voicemail, any ideas, topics, collabs, etc. you guys want to see. I'll include them in future videos and live streams, and I'll catch you again. Be easy. What's a good word, Jets fans? It's your boy DKB here, and our New York Jets have been linked to a new quarterback in the 2025 NFL draft class, which is Oregon Ducks Dillon Gabriel. Now, taking a step back here real quick just to view the quarterback landscape, you have at the top some order of Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, and I feel like we were more in on those conversations when it looked like we may be trending towards the top 3 pick. Now that we may be picking somewhere between 5 and 10, it's more likely that we may not draft a quarterback in the first round altogether without having to take a significant trade back opportunity or something along those lines, right? This is where Dillon Gabriel comes into play, but even before then, the third quarterback potentially off the board returned to school. Penn State's Drew Allar was a name that we were starting to hear a lot of buzz towards with the New York Jets. And my early thoughts were that this could be exactly what we're looking for when you look at high level wise, what makes him a talented QB. But also with the Garrett Wilson situation in play, it helped having him tweet out that Drew Allar was the best Penn State quarterback he's ever seen. We're currently going through a pending or maybe even an expected trade request from G5, who's obviously very frustrated with all of the losing he's experienced here, how hard it's been offensively just to look adequate. And I can't knock him on that, right? But this felt like the plan looked like it aligned by itself, right? Get a new regime in here. Hopefully the coach is offensive minded, but if not, you can sell him on the vision of how we're going to get this thing turned around ASAP. You also plug and play him with, or not plug and play, but you draft a guy like Drew Allar to be that QB of the future for Garrett Wilson, somebody he can grow and really, finish the majority of his career with the New York Jets. And hopefully you end up, not having to worry about a contract dispute, a trade request dilemma with Garrett Wilson whatsoever. But with that being nixed, going back to Dillon Gabriel. Now, there's really a lot to like. It's really confusing to me to a various degree why, when you look at the average draft position that he can go in, he's projected to go somewhere between the 3rd and 5th round, which may be a prime opportunity for the New York Jets, again, to pick up a guy that I feel like has starting level skill sets right out the gate. Now, these aren't pro comps, but I would imagine that somebody's going to throw him somewhere between the mark of Tua, Brock Purdy, and a guy like Bo Nix, right? And that's because when you look at what he does really, really well, he is a timing and rhythm quarterback. So you have another West Coast offense, or you have a scheme where you really are focused on time of possession, strong run game, defense to help, turn the ball back to the offense, get takeaways, etc. You're not looking for necessarily the explosive downfield passing, attack, and all that kind of stuff. Gabriel feels like a plug-and-play guy where in that short to intermediate range, he's going to slice and dice and pick apart a lot of your defenses, especially if he's operating out of a clean pocket. But it's not like he's necessarily a mess when things get muddy for him either. So you have an appreciation for a guy that has 63 games of experience, which actually even tops Bo Nix from last year by 2 games, I believe. I'm intrigued with Gabriel right now. When you look at, again, more of some of the strengths for him, ball placement might be his best attribute. He's going to protect the receivers. He's going to make sure that he's not throwing hospital balls out there. He's not throwing in a double and triple coverage unless, maybe there's a Hail Mary situation, right, where you kind of have to go for it and hope for the best. But more often than not, he's protecting the ball. He understands where he wants to go. He understands how he wants to manipulate and attack a defense. And there is a market for that, right? It's what made guys like Kirk Cousins early on look really optimal to a lot of teams. It's what made Tua look like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, even though there were a lot of prototypical traits that he didn't necessarily have. And I think that's really the conversation with Dillon Gabriel here, is that he offers none of what would make you, drool from your mouth when it comes to evaluating a quarterback. He's under 6 foot. I don't remember how much he weighs, but I want to say maybe 180 something. You're not talking about an overly strong arm. In fact, that may be more of a limitation than anything else for him. And so there, again, for guys that want to have that Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson type X factor, you're not going to get it from Dillon Gabriel. But again, as we've kind of seen from the likes of Drew Brees and Tua and stuff, having a guy that has the mental processing and the ability to have that touch passing, that in and of itself can be a defining trait for a quarterback that can win you a ton of games and even get you to a Super Bowl. So ultimately, let me know what you guys think here, right? Overall thoughts, is it worth drafting him in day 2 to day 3 to pick up another Jordan Travis type guy? Overall, is this a reach here, right? I think ultimately this is a safe bet if you're a new regime, right? You have a guy that has, day one skills, in my opinion, right now in the early portion. He has a day one skill set. He has the experience you're looking for. He's coming from a winning atmosphere. Then you take a look at the draft capital that you're pouring into him, maybe a day 2, day 3 pick. So you're not tied into him if he doesn't work out, and you can still keep an eye on the future of the quarterback class. But I just think this could be a ready-made situation, especially if you end up retaining an Aaron Rodgers or you do decide you want to go with Tyrod Taylor as your bridge QB. You don't have to sink a whole season in just him sitting on the bench. There's going to be some opportunities there, I would imagine, for him to see the field and for you to get a good sample size of what he can bring to you. But again, we're months and months off. He'll definitely end up being in some of my draft reviews that I do as we get into things maybe a month or two from now. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you again. Peace.